Good evening, everybody. It is the meteorologist Weather Forecast, and welcome back to the tropical update, guys. As you can tell, today was actually going to be a double upload, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this double upload. Again, I have a special announcement for the people who have not, did not see the special announcement in my other video. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the announcement. So starting August 1st to August 7th, I'm actually going to be starting a tradition. It's called Winter and Fall Week. The first week of August, I'm going to be doing every year. I'm going to be doing a lot of fall and winter forecasts, including my second preliminary winter forecast at that time. So, guys, I hope you guys like that new tradition. So, I hope you guys are excited for from the start of August 1st all the way to August 7th. I really hope you guys like that type of tradition. Also, be sure to like this video if you guys like more videos like these. I'll make sure to do these since you like the video. Also, be sure to hit the post notification icon so you get notified as soon as I make videos like these. And also, be sure to subscribe. So, guys, if you guys want to know all the new updates, that'll come right up. So, guys, as you can tell, we are going to be looking at the 5-day tropical weather outlook, and we actually have a ton of new information here. So, look, Hurricane Flossie is actually formed, and not only has it formed around 3 hours before it was supposed to. So, for once, we actually have a hurricane that, for once, formed beforehand, because usually they had to delay to form to hurricanes, but for once it was ahead of schedule, so now the video came out earlier. But yeah, guys, we have two hurricanes, Hurricane Erick and Hurricane Flossie. Now they're going to be big hurricanes heading towards the direction Hawaii, guys, so that's where we're going to be focusing on the video. So Hurricane Erick, again, guys, it is actually at 115 knots maximum sustained wind. That's actually 130 miles per hour, guys. That's actually a Category 3, which is known as a major hurricane, guys. And not only is it a Category 3, it looks like it's going to intensify to a Category 4, which is the second to most destructive hurricane there, which will be devastating if it hits Hawaii. So that's why we're making videos on these. Look at the minimum central pressure. 952 millibars. That's incredibly high, and that's actually showing you guys that's actually incredibly low, and that's actually showing you how strong it is. So the lower the millibars, the stronger the system is and more organized, and it has slowed down a little bit, which is the reason why it will be getting to a Category 4, because for some reason there is some very warm water in these areas that had made it get to a Category 1 to Category 3 in one night. And then Floss is going to be heading in that water, so it might get to Category 3. And then, so now we have Flossie at 75 miles per hour, so it just became a Category 1, and now it's at 995 millibars. So again, it was like Erick, and now it's going to be getting a whole lot more dangerous, and then it is moving at 14 miles per hour, so it did slow down a whole lot too. So the fact that they are slowing down is actually not the best sign we want to see here. Now we're going to be looking at the satellite imagery here, because it's actually really cool looking at the satellite imagery for you guys can actually see what it looks like. So again, this little circle in the middle, that's the eye. You guys are wondering, isn't the eye the worst? No, the eye is the best part of the hurricane, but you actually still don't want to be next to the eye, because that means you have to go through the you have to go through the worst part of the storm, which is surrounding the eye. So that you don't want to go through that. The walls, you really don't want to go through that there. That's actually not the best part of the storm. That's actually the worst. So that's why you don't want to get hit by the eye. Here we do have the outer bands surrounding this whole system right here. So again, this whole thing's not part of the hurricane. This is actually the worst part of the hurricane right here. And then we have the outer bands, and it actually got a whole lot bigger, because guys, if you saw my video, we were talking about two bands that were going to connect it to make it bigger, and look, they actually did connect. So that's also a reason why it's going to be potentially getting a whole lot bigger in size. And vorticity, and if you guys do not know what vorticity is, like the rotation kind of, think about it as like a tornado, like how it spins around to like make the tornado formation. So that's also what a hurricane needs to become a hurricane. That's why you see the rotation, like it's kind of like a tornado, but again, it's in the water. And what hurricanes feed on is the warm evaporation of the warm water. So that's why they actually need warm water. It's basically the energy, the food, the source of the whole hurricane there. Again, we are having the huge outer bands that could bring possibly up to 3 to 4 inches ahead before it reaches to the center of the hurricane, which is actually why we have huge flooding threats. Again, guys, this is going to be bringing some huge threats for Hawaii, guys. That's why we need to keep a close eye on this. So if we look at the tracks, it is not looking like it's going to hit Hawaii. We do have 3 models that cut it close: the TABD, the TABM, and then we do have the CEMI. So those are cutting it close to the island, and the other models do show it dipping to the south right now. So as you can tell, Erick is moving to the west-northwest, so it could become going straight to the island, but then it takes a turn straight to the west and missing it, and then going to the west-northwest again. So it's like, again, I see this in almost every video. It's like Hawaii kind of has like its own force field. So like the hurricane just go around it, like Barbara, now Erick, and Flossie, but could potentially make landfall, the first landfall for the Central Pacific and Hawaii. So that will be for this year. Again, right now for Erick, all you need to know is that it's going to dodge Hawaii, so there's not a huge amount of concerns with Hawaii yet with Erick. I know it's going to be category 4, which is incredibly strong, but we will only have to really get scared about this if it's heading more into the direction of Hawaii. But as we go on, we're actually seeing it going a bit farther every time we check. We might have 1 or 2 more models getting maybe like a couple 100 miles closer to Hawaii, but again, it's not a humongous deal right now. So guys, that's basically what you need to know about Erick. But we do want to look at the intensity guidance. So it's actually right now, oops, sorry guys, you don't want to look at that. That's actually something else. So it's actually getting awfully close to category 4. It actually is a category 4 right now. Again, the NOAA just needs to update. Like I said, it happened earlier today. It showed a category 1 when it was a category 3, but it is a category 4 now. I forgot to mention that it is a category 4. It was a category 3 just a couple hours ago, but it did reach category 4. Category 4 force winds. Again, it's going to be intensifying though. What I meant is that it's intensifying more to a moderate category 4. I'm not saying it's going to be like just getting to a category 4. I meant it's intensifying more into a category 4, like more into the moderate. Because a lot of you guys think, oh, it's just a category 4. It's not going to get any worse. Well, it could get a whole lot worse because it could go a whole lot. It could get a whole lot stronger as it goes into the moderate part of the category 4 winds at 125 knots, which is actually incredibly strong. And then within the next 48 hours, we could have it start to weaken, but I mean weaken really, really fast. It could go from category 4 to a tropical storm within maybe 12 to 18 hours when it was a category. So from 18 hours to be category 4 just to a tropical storm, just like that. Again, some models, actually, the scary thought of it is that some of the models do show weakening, but at a slower rate, so that the UKXI, the EGRI, and the CEMI, those all should stay as a category 3 or a category 2 a whole lot longer than the other models. So again, they do show getting to a tropical storm within the next 60 hours, and then within the 168 hours, they're still as a category, they're still a hurricane force winds. Again, the majority of the models do show getting weakening within the next 24 hours. It should be weakening, and then it should become a tropical storm within the next 72 hours or 3 days. And then again, it could stay a tropical storm for a bit longer. So if it even gets very, very close to Hawaii, it could hit as a maybe a very weak category 2 or maybe very, very strong category 1. So now that we're looking at the satellite imagery for Hurricane Flossie, now again, it's not really organized. Really, it's not going to be looking like Erick, obviously, because it just became a hurricane. So it's obviously not going to look super organized. But we do have the circular formation. We do have it looking circular, which is what we need. We don't really have a lot of the outer bands right now. We do have a whole lot of cloud cover to the southern part of the storm. I do eventually think by the end of tonight, those cloud covers will start surrounding there and then bring multiple bands like this. So again, it's just going to take a matter of time. If it cut because of hurricane like an hour, you're not going to see it look like Erick. Obviously, Erick's been a hurricane for almost a day now, so it's going to take a little bit of time, but we are seeing the vorticity, which is a good sign if you want a hurricane, but a bad sign for Hawaii. And then we should have the eye form right here very, very soon, as you can tell, because it is moving to the north, so the worst of it should be right here. I know you see a lot of arrows. I know it's probably very, very complicated. I'm just trying to say it as least complicated because it is weather, and tropical weather is very complicated to explain. But we looked at the satellite imagery. Now we're going to be looking at the cone and timing. So here we have the, this actually needs a little bit of time to update. I know, guys, you're probably thinking, why are you showing false information? Well, again, NOAA does take a couple minutes to refresh. I know it's probably really annoying, but we are seeing a hurricane, we are seeing this huge area tropical storm force winds. But the cone and timing is still actually pretty important, even if it's 2 or 3 hours left behind. It's still pretty important because we at least need an idea. Because this part really does not really change. Really, the timing does not really change. The only thing that changes right here is the wind extent, which we still already know it's hurricane force winds already. So this is the next 1 to 3 days. Again, this is the timing does not change really. It might show the farther in the next couple hours, but again, the timing does not change a whole lot. So within all the way to Friday, it's still a hurricane. So in the next 3 days, we're gonna be talking about Hurricane Flossie there, and then within the next 4 to 5 days, it's still gonna be a hurricane all the way till Sunday. Look here, we see the island right here, the big island. Let me actually get a different color. Here we have the tip of the big island. Look how close it's actually looking, like the center could just go like this, and if potentially affect the Honolulu and Maui areas, not on the big island there. And now we're going to be looking at the model track guidance. This part has actually changed. This is updated. The tracks are all updated. As you can tell, we do have it moving to the west northwest, and then going straight to the west, and then doing another turn to the west northwest. Let me actually do yellow. I think this, yeah. It's going to be going to the west northwest, then it's going to be going to the west, then another west northwest turn. But the really big factor we actually need to know is when exactly is that west northwest going to be, when that west northwest turn will be. Because if it goes west for a couple hundred more miles, it could actually affect the big island. You actually see the models. Some of the models do show it affecting the big island, not a whole lot of controversy really. It is definitely looking like it's gonna hit the island from this angle here. We have about because these models go farther out than these models, and as you can tell, we have like another 5 or 6 models that are over here that are showing going the same direction, and then the other, like including the UK models, are showing just going to the west northwest a bit before, which can actually still affect the northern islands, which is still a threat. Now we're going to be looking at the Hurricane Flossie model intensity guidance. This is actually updated too because it has Hurricane Flossie in it. So we do have it again at around 65 knots right there. It's potentially going to stay at a Category 1. That's what most of the models do show. We actually, if you count, maybe 10 or 11 models do show it staying at a Category 1. But what we need also, a good amount do show at Category 2, though we actually have another 7 models that show getting to a Category 2 within the next 24 hours. So again, that's the big spot we were talking about, this warm water that could potentially be right here. So it could skip 2 categories within a night. So again, that's what we need to wait. And then we do have, I think 4 models do show reaching to a major hurricane. Again, a whole lot less compared to Erick, and Erick's already past that. But again, we just need to wait a little bit more for Flossie. We already know a whole lot of information for Erick. If we go all the way to the next 36 hours, here we have these two big systems. It still reminds me of Maria and Jose, how they were right behind each other as major hurricanes there. And then as we go within the 54 hours, we do have Erick really weakening as it gets just south of the island there. And then that's where we have Flossie starting to get a whole lot stronger at 102 knots. And then, guys, it looks like it could actually get a whole lot stronger than we thought. You know how we thought it was supposed to weaken to up to 40 knots? Well, look, it might actually make impact with 65 knots on the island. It's not, based on this, it's actually not going to be going that north turn, really. So it's actually looking like Flossie can really intensify a whole lot more before weakening, which means it's going to be weakening fast, at a fast rate, but from a bigger level of wind. So it's going to obviously be stronger no matter what. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If I have to, I'll do another upload maybe at 8 p.m. today. But I really don't think that's necessary. I think you guys just stay tuned for the next video. And then in 2 more days, that's where we start this fall and winter week. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys are excited about this tradition. Spread the word to anyone else. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and bye.